First of all, how are you?
I'm good, yeah, doing well.
Good to hear. So before we get into the music that you've been making lately, I'd like to jump back to the beginning.
Yes.
Do you remember the first album you ever bought?
Oh God. It was it must have been uh Bombay Bicycle Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Bombay Bicycle Club, how come?
Because I used to be really, really into them, and they came and played a show in Derry, and we have this second-hand shop in Derry where you go and get CDs, and that used to be the thing to do. And I think that was just the first CD that I picked up because I had no idea who they were.
Okay.
So, yeah, that I think they were my first CD, first album.
With some time in between now and then making music yourself, how do you look back at their music, or how do you look at their music now?
It's still really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I love the songs that they use, and it's yeah, I still love them.
Okay.
But they're broken up now, but their music lives on, and I still listen to it every once in a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was that around the same time that you started making your own music?
Yeah. So when I was younger, I would have bought a lot of CDs and listened to loads of music, and my dad was really into it as well.
Okay.
And that's kind of where the love for music came from. And then my brother got an acoustic guitar for Christmas, and I just stole that off him like right away, and started playing on that, and then it just kind of all spiraled from there. It's just one thing after another now, and just everything that I do is related to music.
Okay.
So it became a big thing when I didn't know at the time it was going to be a big thing. So yeah.
You grabbed that guitar off your brother. What was it about the guitar that struck you?
I don't know. I saw him playing it, and then I was kind of like, I really want to play that, so so I'm gonna take it off you. But it was just kind of because whenever I was in school, I used to write a lot of creative stories and stuff like that, and that really translated well for some reason onto learning guitar and learning how to write on guitar. And I think one of the first songs I ever wrote was like C, E minor, G, C, like super basic, but that's how it all started. And I just kept writing and kept trying my best to learn more guitar and other instruments as well. So yeah.
You mentioned creative writing. What did you write about earlier?
Oh God, I wrote really dark stories. I think I made my English teacher cry in my second year of secondary school, and from an early on, I was that kind of sad storyteller, and it's continued.
Do you remember what story made her cry?
Oh God, I can't even remember what it was.
But with a little bit of hindsight, and because even now you kind of gravitate towards the darker side.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
I think it connects to people a lot more. Sometimes I like writing happy songs, but like with a good meaning behind them. Like one of my songs is about bullying, but in like different perspectives. It's weird, and I think I just like writing about stories that relate to people and relate to myself. So whenever I go out and play the songs, people go, oh, I know what she's on about, I know exactly what she's trying to say, and I connect with it.
And then, like you said, it comes from yourself as well, so is most of it autobiographical?
Yeah, a lot of it is. A lot of it's things that have happened to me or to people that I love. And I think I used to be really into Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And I think I tried to write a song about that. But it's usually a lot of stories that um, just I'm just affected by.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very quickly then, so you're no longer a fan of Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah, I'm still into it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But writing about those kind of elements and those did that come easy to you?
Yeah.
Because especially once you start putting it out and people will hear it.
Yeah.
Was that how was that?
It was difficult at first. Like the writing bit was the easy bit because it was kind of like an outlet for me, because I'm one of the people that find it really, really hard to talk about how they feel. So whenever I could just write it down and say it but not have to say it to anybody else, it was like it suited me down to the ground. And but whenever it came to playing, I got super shaky and nervous on stage because I thought that people would think it was cringy and kind of cheesy, but as soon as I started, people started going, yeah, they're really good songs, and they relate to it. So that kind of encouraged me to keep going.
Do you remember those first shows?
Yeah, my first ever show was called Bennigan's Introducing. So this bar in Derry have Introducing night every Tuesday, and I went down to one of them with a really cheap acoustic guitar that was out of tune, and it was way too big for me, playing some of the songs that I'd written, and I think I was about 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what was it like then? Because the bar environment as a 15-year-old, that's also a bit.
Yeah.
What was it like going to, and maybe the first year of doing gigs? What did you learn from that experience?
It's a weird one because not a lot of 15-year-olds or whatever get to go into bars and meet people like that. But as soon as I started, you meet, because the music scene in Northern Ireland is so small. Like it's a community, it's a family. You learn really quickly that you meet people through doing gigs, and I think doing the gigs in the bars really helped me understand that it was what I wanted to do. So
with that in mind, then and then I suppose it changes over time, but what what's the ambition then at that point?
Just to write.
Okay.
To write. I really just want to be able to tell the stories that I tell, and maybe let them connect to other people, and it's something that I love doing, and I don't think I'll ever not love doing, because I write every week. Even if it's just chords or a melody or something like that, my brain is always like spinning, and it's cool knowing that whenever I put those thoughts down on paper, and whenever I get to play them to people, they dig it, and that's a really enjoyable thing about it.
In that sense, then, do you have to be in a certain mood, because you say you write every week? Do you have to be in a certain mind space to write?
Yeah. Well, I try and write every week, but sometimes you're what do you call it? Writer's block. You get writer's block, and it's the most frustrating thing in the world. But I keep trying. Because I know that eventually that'll pass, and then I'll be able to write again.
If you look back, because you've been doing this since you were 15, kind of, and what for you has been the biggest development or the biggest progression in terms of your music?
Switching to electronic.
Okay.
First,
how come? Why did? Do you remember that moment when you kind of?
Yeah. So first of all, I was on acoustic guitar, and then that changed whenever I started doing music in college. I started playing an electric guitar, and then I was working with my manager / producer, and we started off with like a full band sound, and it was like super wholesome and just completely different from what I do now. And then I kind of decided that the full band thing wasn't for me, and it was really, really cool getting to figure out how to manage things myself and be able to get up on stage and just play everything and have people look at that and go, what is she at? Yeah, I think the electronic thing, I really like the sounds, and I love looking at synths and just different sounds, and like anytime I see a band playing with a really cool synth, I'll be like, I want that sound.
So finally then, because we're running out of time, but how has that change kind of developed what you're writing now, and with eyes on the future?
It's completely changed how I write, because sometimes I write with my sample pad or with the loop pedal and a lot of guitar pedals, and the melodies that I write and the riffs on the guitar, it's completely changed from like whenever I first started playing like a C chord, a G chord, an E minor chord. It's all these like jazzy chords, like sevenths, and I think the electronic thing helped develop me as a songwriter as well as a performer. So,
Ro, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.